I'm feeling like a real podcast host now with this brand new Shure XM7B. Shout out to you guys, subscribers, the members, and everyone watching today. It's your boy Thomas. We're talking about the latest and greatest from Supreme and Dickies, who have come back with another one. No DJ Khaled, but we do in fact have a new collaboration for Supreme Fall/Winter 2024 for week 16. Getting down to it, guys. This season is flying by. It's time to hop on that treadmill, earn that Thanksgiving weight, and let's go lock in the brand new Supreme Droplist. Let's go. All right, guys, before we get started, I want to remind you to please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the noti bell so you can stay up to date every single time I post and go live. I go live every single Thursday for Supreme and most Fridays for Palace. Not every single Friday, but when Palace has a good drop, we go live for Palace. It's a good time. We do react videos at the end of the stream. We chill. We talk other brands. We vibe out. So come out, show support, become a member, exclusive icons, giveaways. We just had a big giveaway for Black Friday. Shout out to Sean from St. Loserville. He won the Supreme denim stripe hat last week, and it was pretty sick, pretty fun. On our way to 5,000 subscribers. I think we can get there by the first of the year. Let's see if we can. And now let's take a peek at Supreme and Dickies. And if this video isn't enough for you, you can also check out my other one where I go over the history of Supreme and Dickies up until this point, because I made that video before this collab was even a thing. So here we go with Supreme and Dickies. They've worked on a new collection for fall 2024. The collection consists of a hooded leather work jacket, long sleeve polo, long sleeve top, hooded sweatshirt, flannel line overall, and flannel line cargo pant available this Thursday, December 5th in the US and EU, and in Asia, December 7th. We got 65 pictures to look at. Let's freaking go. This low-key has been the season of leather jackets, so here we go with another one. This time they've added a hood, and it is Dickies, so given that VF Corp still owned Supreme at the beginning of this season, this probably will be one of the more affordable collaborations. I'm hoping. Very workwear themed. Dickies kind of like the Carhartt rival. Would you guys say that? Dickies versus Carhartt, who you got? I think as of right now, Carhartt might be in the lead a little bit, but Dickies can definitely come up, I think, with the collab like this. Pretty simple design right here on this work jacket. Zip up, 2 pockets. Dickies and Supreme embroidered way down there. You can barely see it. Pink jacket. I'm already gonna call it gonna be one of the more targeted items this week. Pink can go either way. It can either be the most hype or the least. In this case, I'm gonna say it's gonna be more towards the more hyped. You can see the flannel lining on the inside of this blue jacket right here with some cargo pants to match. Cargos are just okay. Maybe for me, they're a little bit too baggy. I don't know. I've never been a gigantic Dickies guy. Like back in the day, I would have never dreamt of wearing it. Probably would consider it now. Certainly with the Supreme collab. We also have some overalls, nice Jordan 4s. By the way, overalls typically end up selling out anytime they release because they only release them pretty much once a season. So here we go with the obviously winter version. There's the short sleeve polo. I think they said that. We also have a long sleeve, I believe, with some Dickies and Supreme printed right there. Might just say Dickies. We'll see some Supreme branding underneath, I'm sure. And then here is the sweatshirt with the zipper and the Supreme and Dickies embroidery. We'll obviously get a better look at all this stuff with the product pictures. There's the cargos again. So pretty simple colorways. If we remember, if you guys have seen my Dickies video from earlier this year that goes over all of the collabs, and feel free to watch that as a refresher again. These are pretty similar to what we've seen before. We typically get a couple colorways. They repeat over multiple pieces, a couple graphics, like we've had the camo long sleeve shirt last year. This time we're getting this graphic with the Dickies Supreme and some text. And then the higher end stuff with the leather work jacket as like the keystone of the collection. Nice quilted interior on the hooded leather work jacket, only available in black, so that will definitely be targeted in my opinion, given that it is only available in one single colorway. Hooded work jacket, I think this will probably be next up. It's pretty simple with the Supreme and Dickies branding down there, but that's kind of all you need. I mean, that's what Carhartt does, and you're really buying these items for their quality, for how they look on body and the cut, etc. So this hooded work jacket does have a removable hood, as you can see here. That is pretty versatile. So we have pink, blue, and then black. Very simple, literally gets lighter and darker. I was gonna assume this is gonna be around like the 230s, but we do not have prices as of right now. But like most collaborations, if you go back to items from the past, they're pretty similar 95% of the time. There's a little bit of inflation occasionally. Sometimes the items are slightly different, like they're not the exact same work jacket, whatever. Maybe they'll be $10 difference, but usually they're pretty similar. Here's the flannel lined overall. I do like the flannel lining. It's pretty warm. So this is made for the winter. I think the best two colorways are going to be pink and black on this. I don't know how many pink overalls Supreme has made. It's definitely not a lot. Blue could maybe be the most wearable, but they've certainly done that before. Here are the flannel lined cargo pants. So the flannel lining is kind of the theme of this collaboration, which is pretty cool. And then the quilted lined zip up hoodie. Very simple collab. They're not doing anything earth-shattering with this, but I think that's all they really need to do. A lot of colorways on these zip-up hooded sweatshirts. I would say the only ones to go for resale would probably be like pink or maybe the tan natural. I'd argue for black. I don't know. Here's the thermal polo, and it is a long sleeve built into a short sleeve. Not really sure how I feel about this, leaning towards not really liking it. The raglan long sleeve top, kind of nice. If you're a big Dickies fan and want to put that on your chest, you got the Supreme, a legend in work on the back, and that is all of the colorways of this Dickies collab. Now our good old pal Supreme Drops does have the partial drop list up. I put this on my community tab a couple of days ago, but we do not have the full drop list, so these prices could always change and pieces could be removed. We have been seeing a trend where like maybe this hat will drop off the drop list. It'll not come out this week. We are getting towards the end of the season, so I would assume that most items will eventually release, right? I already tell you what my favorite item this week is. We'll talk about it in a second when we go over to Supreme Community and see what the community has been voting. Here is the drop list for this upcoming Thursday. You can see the Dickies stuff is loaded on the website, and a lot of it is properly voted with the thermal polos down low. Overalls, I feel like are being pretty slept on, and oh boy, we're gonna have to gatekeep some of these items, guys. And let's just start from the bottom and go up. We are gonna skip the Dickies stuff so you can take it into your mind right now. Obviously, you can follow along with me as you watch, but we're not gonna double check our work on this one. All right, the Needle Punch Denim Crusher. It's a pretty bad hat. If you really like the style of it, go for it, but I wouldn't recommend it for anything other than a personal wear. That is a down vote from me. Estimated price $58. Same thing as a 6-panel. I think this one is a little bit better. I've said I don't like this logo for whatever reason. I can't tell you why. I actually like the black hat a little bit more than the rest. $48 is the estimated retail on this puppy. The small box sweatpants are next. I don't know if these were on a previous drop list, but the blue tiger camo is clearly the one to go for. These unique colorways always end up having some resale on them. You could also just get these for personal. They're pretty cheap. I would recommend looking at sizing from previous seasons. People always ask me, Thomas, what is the sizing on these? I tell people I don't really know. I am a 32-inch waist. I would get a small because I have a pair of small Supreme sweatpants from the past, and those fit me very well to this day. So that's what I would get, but I'm not the grand poobah of sweatpant sizing. I also forget if I said it, $158 estimated price. All right, the hat we have to gatekeep, guys, is the Endurance Series 6-panel. If you're a fan of 24 hours of Le Mans endurance racing, you got 3 drivers, 1 car. They have to change the rotors of their brakes during these races because they are so intense, and this hat encapsulates that perfectly. For me, I'm going for this red, white, and blue, God bless the USA hat. I think it looks great. It's got the nice golden hits. They all have the golden hits. Pink one is kind of wild, reminds me of like an anti-social social club design. Green is probably the classiest and best looking, aside from maybe the white, but I have a lot of green hats and sometimes they get keyed out from my green screen. Black is just a little boring, but probably the most wearable. This hat is great, and I need you guys all to hit downvote on it so we can rig the election, because I don't think it has an actual impact on the market. It's just kind of a funny funny meme. The lock hair on camp cap. I remember this from the preview. I think it's funny. If you guys have a little Scottish in you, I recently did a DNA test and I'm 51% Irish with like 15% Scot in me. So I could definitely rock this hat with impunity. $54 estimated retail. Could be one of those sleeper grandpa items. I don't know how people think about it, but this tartan one is pretty clean, but I wouldn't expect a ton of resale. Give it an upvote though. Small box hooded sweatshirt. You've heard me say it way too many times. Someone get the full fit and send pictures. I do have someone who sent in some fit pics for the stream this week. Shout out to Florian Peter, the boy, for sending me a very nice pickup he had. If you guys ever want to get showcased on the channel, just send in a picture, DM it to me on IG, on Twitter, whatever. Send me a letter in the freaking mail for all I care. But yeah, the small box hooded sweatshirt. It's not on Supreme Drops' drop list, but I would assume it is going to come out if it hasn't already. And the small box sweatpants are also releasing because you gotta have the matching fit. Big logo beanie boys. Now people are talking about this. They really are. I think the bandana one's a bit better. This one's still pretty cool. It's a nice Supreme beanie. Keeps your head warm. 44 bucks. I don't think the resale is going to be on this one as much as the next one, but I could see pink, natural doing okay, black, but I really wouldn't buy this particular beanie for resale. This one, on the other hand, I think definitely has potential. This strikes me as a classic Supreme item. It's bringing me back to bandana TNF days from 2014-15 era. Certainly the blue and the red, let's be real here, but also natural is not bad, but these ones are, for obvious reasons, going to be the most targeted ones. $44. I could see the bandana tax maybe 48, I don't know, but definitely one of the better beanies this year, and people probably like it, so we're going to upvote it. I like it too. Now the item I personally have been waiting for all season is this white snowmobile sweater. We have to gatekeep this one, guys, but I think it's going to be nigh impossible because this is probably the best embroidered sweater releasing all season, and sweaters have been on just a monumental run recently. It's really started even in the summer. We were seeing sweaters sell out, and this one literally looks like you're on the mountain just snowmobiling down, you and your lady friend. You got the old-timey skis, the Supreme writing next to the snow. I don't normally like white sweaters or all white items, but I think it just looks the best out of all the different colorways. Purple is too abstract. I would say go for black or go for white. Black does have a nice contrast on the embroidery, but white makes it look like you're literally on the mountain, and the mountain is your body, and it's pretty cool. So I like this one a whole lot. We're gonna downvote it. Supreme Drops has it at 168, which seems criminally underpriced for how big the embroidery is. I pray it's that much, but I could see this thing going for as high as 198 when it comes out on Thursday, but I'm definitely gonna be targeting this along with the hat or personal, probably reselling the snowmobile. I'm gonna be honest, I might even go for 2 colorways. We'll have to wait and see. Now last but not least, the Supreme Low C RC dirt bike. I don't know anything about low C and RC cars, but I do know that at the higher end, these get very expensive. So this thing is at 1/4 scale, full assembly with 3 drive modes. That to me screams expensive. Realistic rider, and it also is a Supreme and Fox collab because he's wearing Supreme and Fox racing gear. Here are the dimensions: 24.6 inches by 22.7 by 13.5. People tell me without Supreme branding, these low C RC dirt bikes are up to $600. And if we go to lowc.com and look at their non-branded ones, well, these are branded, but they're not Supreme. They are in fact $600. This Pro MX is $540, but damn, these are not cheap. You are kind of getting an action figure mixed in with a remote controlled bike. I can't in good faith say this will resell, but it will definitely sell out eventually. I do remember the last time we had the Supreme RC cars was the R33 or GTR from 2 or 3 seasons ago, and that sat on the site for a bit. Let's go check StockX and just get an estimate on what previous Supreme RC cars have gone for and are currently going for, to see if it's even worth doing a long-term, medium-term hold if you are concerned about resale or you just want to know the value of it before buying it. Okay, first up, we had that Kyosho Nismo R33, which retailed at $348, and now currently they are selling for way below retail, which is actually kind of insane if you think about it, given that It's an R33 Skyline, so kind of wild. Last one sold for $215. I would definitely get this over what's coming out this week. If you guys are into RC cars or cars like me, I don't know, R33 Skyline is a pretty cool car. Fall winter 2022. Damn, that's longer than I thought. We also have the Hornet RC car way back in fall winter 2018. Two-wheel drive, top speeds of 25 miles an hour. Damn, this was $300 and you can still get it for below retail. So I'm gonna say, judging by this, there is not a lot of demand on remote control cars, at least with Supreme branding. And for this one being $700, definitely buy at your own risk. And I would say only get this if you're a true fan. I wouldn't expect this to be any kind of money-making opportunity unless they make 5 of them. So what'd you guys think of the latest Supreme X Dickies collab along with the week 16 drop list? In my opinion, the Dickies collab, it's not really for me, given that it's just so basic, and I don't say that as a bad thing. There's just been so many other Supreme items to release this season. I just don't have room for this collab in my current wardrobe. I don't really know how to judge the resale of Dickies. You can do your own research and maybe we can talk about it before the drop on the stream if you guys think anything in particular is coming out. I also may have missed an item or two given we don't have the full drop list. I see Supreme Drops has this flannel right here along with the Unseen Drugs pin. We could definitely see those coming out. Who knows? Pretty basic, pretty personal items. But for me personally, it's all about the endurance racing hat and the snowmobile sweater. Everything else can pretty much take a back seat. I think both of these two items are guaranteed resale, probably more on the sweater. The hat, I have seen quite a lot of people gassing it up on Twitter. Who knows what that means? What'd you guys think of the video today? If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, comment if you liked, dislike if you hated it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.